Tony, you got 11 points from Devin tonight, 10 from Isaiah, so it wasn't just Anthony, Malcolm, and London offensively. How much did that help to have
I think
more balanced scoring?
The balance was important. Devin, gave us quality minutes, and I thought Isaiah, as well as Blossom game, was playing in the first half. His activity and guarding him was solid. And, we switched some ball screens, and I thought that helped us. So we got a little closer back to, playing, I think, how we have to play. So certainly was pleased with the contributions from the other guys.
Just a reminder, please raise your hand. Use the microphones for questions. Mike?
Tony, you kind of took control with 11 minutes to go with that big run that started with some defensive stops. For you, was that encouraging to see that you can kind of get back to that?
No, I mean, we got closer, and I don't think we ever took control in that game. It's a fine line, and I say it all the time, and I like this side of the line better than the other side, but it comes down to, like you said, a few key stops. You have to get those, and the fact that we were able to get a few of those was important for us, and certainly we'll keep working at that. But you can see why Blossom game is I think he was the reigning player of the week in the ACC, very talented, and why they've won some games. But I thought our guys responded well and tightened up defensively, and we'll take it.
Yeah, talk about the significance of getting this win after what you've been through the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in games on the road, the ones we've dropped. They've been possession games that really could have gone either way. And I'll be honest with you, our wins at home have been possession games. Usaida has a 3 go in and out against us. Would have been a tie game under 2 minutes. You saw how tight this was. That's just the way it is. And, again, we talk about the depth of the league and the talent and the improvement of all of these teams that we've played from last year. They're all better. The ones that we've played, for the most part, I really believe they are. I don't know what our potential is, but I just want us to get to that line. Whatever that is for us, we've got to get to that line, and I thought we took a step of getting to that. Don't know how good we can be, but I want us to reach that line and know that it is you're going to be in a lot of close games, possession games. So, as Mike said, to get some stops, we left, again, some points on the board at the free throw line, and even some inside shots that I thought we should have had that could have made a difference, and those could have made a difference in other games. But absolutely, to come back home and play a good team and come away, thankful for that.
Whitey on the right.
Yeah, you started Jack, and then you started the second half with Mike. What was kind of the thought process there? Are you trying to save Mike some fouls early in these games, maybe? Or?
No, I started Jack because I thought his tenacity and his physicality would get us off right. Jack didn't have a real good start. He was exhausted. He looked exhausted and got ducked in a couple times and didn't had a trouble finishing. And I just thought we're going to go with Mike to start and use Jared in small minutes. And again, that's part of being a freshman, a first year with Jack, with Jared, those guys, a bit of inconsistency to say the least. And I thought Mike, again, that size is important that we need. And Jack, usually to start games, I think brings more physicality and, perhaps may draw a foul or two. And, we used Mike and him, but I liked what Mike gave. And I thought Jack wasn't his normal self. And we got some contributions from certainly Jared instead.
Hey, Tony, back here. Just trying to look ahead a little bit. Were you able to watch any of that the Duke-Syracuse game last night, and just any thoughts on Syracuse coming in here?
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Tony, you mentioned a little bit about Devin earlier. He looked tonight very self-assured offensively without, for the most part, forcing things.
Right.
Is that what you have observed in practice?
For sure. I think as a whole, we didn't force shots. I thought we let the game come in terms of moving the ball, taking shots out of the offense. I mean, there's always a couple times you're not going to get that perfect. There might be a force or you get late in the shot clock. But I liked our whole team, the way we tried to score out of the offense and attack when the times were right. And Devin did a nice job with that. And, he did a solid job at Florida State. Defensively, there's a few things that, he's got to keep tightening up. But I liked what I saw, and he's been in our system for 3 years. And, I shortened the rotation a little bit today. It's been so balanced, and obviously you guys know I'm searching for the right rotation, and hopefully we can come to it. I know Evan didn't play in the second half, nor did Marielle, nor did Jack, but that's what this team is. You just keep finding your ways, and hopefully we can settle in more and more. And but guys have to keep staying ready.
Hank and then Doug.
Tony, Mike only had 6 points, but he had 6 rebounds, and the dunk. How much does it benefit you guys when he plays with a little bit of authority like that? That just kind of maybe a little bit of attitude that's often not there with him.
You have to. This is a I don't know, a big boy league, I guess you want to say. This isn't a tiptoe league. Guys are physical. You watch. It's at this level. The play on the glass is important. The size is needed. And, I thought Mike did a nice job. And I just want to keep challenging him. We needed his size. He gave us long minutes, and I was thinking of going back in there with him, but then they flipped it and matched up with us when we had Isaiah and Anthony on the floor. So for sure, Mike did a real good job. He's shown some more consistency, and, I think that's going to be important for us as we continue on. So you can't play this game tentatively. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, Tony, was something up with London? It looked like to start.
He missed a lot of free throws.
Oh, yeah, but to start the second half, he hadn't warmed up, and you were talking to him. Was he not feeling?
Well, we were talking about an action, how he was being guarded. But I asked that. He looked a little tired. And again, we played a lot of games, short amount of time. I'm not sure if that was it. I'll check with Ethan. But I actually thought the same thing. Not at that time. I thought something during the game. Is he all right? But he obviously played. I'm sure he'll use that as an excuse why he didn't make his free throws. But he's usually pretty good in that setting. But Ethan would have told me if something was wrong. So I assume he was. Maybe he was just conserving his energy and looked a little bit tired.
Mike and then Jeff.
You mentioned Blossom game, and obviously he's a really good player, but
Yeah.
it seemed like the defense was slow to get to him at the start
Really?
of the game. Did you feel like you kind of let him get in a rhythm? Because after that, he hit some tough shots.
Of course. It's, good players. You let them, they hit a shot or they get to the line and they get going. We adjusted and started switching the ball screen. He was getting a lot of his looks off of a ball screen where we were trying to show and rotate. And, we couldn't get the ball pinned on our ball screen. And so when the ball would come across, then all of a sudden the rotations were slow. And if he has his feet set and is looking at it, it's tough. So we decided to try to shorten his time. Now there's some holes in that theory. Why don't you do that all the time? Because there's some things that happen. But for tonight, it worked, or it helped. It wasn't perfect, but it cut down his time to get looks, and then we were worried he'd take us to the post, and that's how Anthony got his third foul. Is we tried to trap, and Anthony was a little late, but that was for sure what happened early. Got a lot of room and rhythm.
Jeff and then Paul.
After going 4 for 17 the other night at Florida State, Malcolm obviously was much more efficient tonight.
Yeah.
Other than just making shots, what did he do differently on
Well,
offense?
I think he let it come. I think everybody did. That's what I said. That he, it's hard because in Florida State was making it tough. You're on the road, and I think sometimes, you think I got to make some plays. Things aren't going well, and Malcolm's an aggressive player, and he's so important for us, and he gets guarded by so many people so hard. But I challenged the team to try to just trust each other, let it come. Let's break, try to wear down the offense, with our offense, wear down the defense. And I thought Malcolm did an exceptional job today of really, it always looks good when we make shots, but he rarely, he was aggressive when he needed to, and we need him to score. So it's not like he's got to look at times, but it just was a nice pace, a good feel. And, it's, like I said, he has a lot of people that are tagging him and doubling him and kind of stacking it on him. So I thought he did a good job of making the next pass and then looking when he needed to look.
Tony, you beat Miami last week, and you came in and you seemed concerned and not really thrilled with the way things went. Tonight, you seem to be in a better mood. It's not just winning. What's the difference?
No, I realize we're walking a fine line. As I said, even in our wins, they're possession games, and we've just said that we got to be the best we can be. At whatever our line is for potential, as I said before, we got to get to that potential, and where that takes us, it takes us, because the league's better, and we're in for that. And I told our guys, as long as you get after it and represent the right things in terms of how we need to play, and respect each other and represent those pillars in our program, then you should be freed up to do what you can. And wherever that takes us, it takes us. So I thought we represented the right things and responded well. I thought we were better defensively. To answer the question, to answer it straight up, we were better defensively. We were not good against Miami, and we were fortunate they missed shots. Today, maybe they missed some, but we had a little more staying power defensively, and hard to win if you can't get stops.